You beat me again. I don't think I want to eat anymore.
All right, we are live. What's going on, YouTube? It is I, Sith turned Jedi, back with a little something different today. Today, my special guest is a good friend of mine, and one of the guys that helped me out when I decided to start a YouTube channel, ChilzTheSavage.
What's up, everybody? As you said, I'm ChilzTheSavage. I'm a loudmouth YouTuber also, but I do other things besides YouTube. I got my own website. Most platforms. It's just certain things you can be limited to talk about, and certain things you can't. So that's how we deal with them. I don't need them. Um, but yeah, let's roll with it. I'll sit here and eat my candies while you ask your questions.
All
Those are
right,
all the roll.
so I've followed your channel since the beginning, and I know the one question that anybody on my channel is going to ask is why is one headphone always off the ear?
Why is the one headphone off of the ear? That's a question I've heard millions of times. Actually, that's probably the nicest I've ever heard it too. So let's make that one clear. Well, there's something called trigeminal neuralgia, probably from too many headshots being a kid when I was growing up or whatever. Who knows? The doctors can't tell you what causes it. More or less every once in a while, and it's more often than a lot, or more often than not. Um, it'll feel like there's an ice pick going through the back of my head and coming out the bottom of my neck here, or the simplest touch to my face will feel like somebody's taking a baseball bat repeatedly beating me in it.
Ow.
So I keep it up where there's a spot, there's no trigger spotted in that location. I haven't had one there, and I can still hear everything. The headphone is still open to the back to my ear, but it's just not sitting on top of it.
Right. Nice. Yeah,
It's just a way to deal with it. I tried the earbuds; they're right here, but they suck. I hate earbuds.
yeah, I can't. I don't do anything in my ear. It's just I have a few different disabilities myself that nothing bad, but it
You don't want to taint your earwax because you like munching on that.
no. Eh, same reason I don't swim. There's just I don't like I don't know. I guess I don't like the feeling of it. Almost like I don't want to say autistic because I'm bipolar, so I'm very close, but just feelings of certain things I can't deal with.
Man, I can't say I don't swim. I've had a situation where I've seen somebody drowned and everybody. What do you feel about swearing on your channel?
I swear all the fucking time.
Okay, everybody else was pussies. My brother wouldn't even jump in, and I was the one rolling up. I was about 15 years old, and I got the weed in my hand, and I'm trying to twist one up. And I look over and I see this girl, and she was like struggling. And I look at my brother. Now I'm wearing full clothes. I didn't plan on swimming. And I look at my brother. I was like, "Go save her, dude. You ain't got shoes or nothing on. I ain't getting in that water." Like, what the fuck? Here, take this. So I hand him the bud, and I jump in the water, fully clothed, mess up a phone. But I ended up going and helping this chick. She was pretty cool. But
Nice.
for me, swimming, I was one of the kids that was like when I grew up, I didn't like people. I like to stay away from everybody at work. I like to make money, and my leisure to get away from everybody a lot of the time was going to the public pools and diving off the diving board and doing the most horrendous, painful things you could imagine, hitting the water so people wouldn't want to bother me. Like I was doing face plants on the water. Where I grew up, the YMCA contacted me and asked me if they could teach me how to swim correctly so I didn't hurt myself no more and I could join the team and everything else. Like, no, I know how to swim. This is intentional though. I mean, when you don't like people, you don't like people. But that's how I grew up.
Right.
So,
Yeah, yeah. My mother's brother, I won't call him my uncle for stuff we won't get into. But when she was a kid, they were swimming in local creek. I grew up country as crap. Um, but he grabbed her ankle and tried dragging her under, so she was deathly afraid of water at that point. I didn't learn how to swim until a Marine Corps swim qualification, and that was a hey, you're in full BDUs and a backpack. Whoop, learn how to swim. So
Okay.
I can swim to save my ass, but that's about it.
I don't mind water. I wouldn't mind getting in like one of those submerged chambers that allows you to it's like a hyperbolic chamber type deal where it allows you to heal your body with water and things like that, where you could eliminate all sound and all resonance around you so it feels like you're floating.
Right? Yeah, that would be cool. I'm not really afraid of water. I just don't swim like that, I guess. But
Yeah. You can't be. You got to get a bath once in a while
right?
or a
So
shower or whatever you do.
another huge question that I have is I kind of, for the most part, stick to one genre, and I've noticed you are kind of all over the place. But a lot of the stuff that you get into is stuff that, like, I wouldn't even think to look for. It's amazing music, but how have you gotten yourself into some of these rabbit holes? Like you called the warning on the reaction last night, which that's definitely a rabbit hole I started down earlier today.
Probably one of the best up and coming bands, let alone artists in general, that you'll ever be able to see. I mean, them girls right there, they were suggested. That was one time it was a suggestion, and it was like, hey, wait a minute, they are really, really good. So I went ahead with that and checked them out. I listened to a few different songs. Their fans started giving me the rundown on which way, like, because with the warning, they have there's a lot of their music on specific CDs is a story from beginning to end, but it's not in numerical order. You have to listen to one song, then jump up three, then jump back, and things of that nature. But once you get it in order and you listen to what they're saying, it's a complete and utter story, and it's really cool. Um, but it's not just a warning. I mean, you got to figure, me personally, the type of music that I listen to primarily in my vehicle, if you was to go in my vehicle and just start looking through my playlist, you're going to find a lot of Struggle Jennings, a lot of Ryan Upchurch, a lot of Jelly Roll, a bunch of High Res, Burden, a lot of the new age underground rappers. Of course, Tom McDonald. I mean, and even Dax. Look, I'm not a big fan of Dax, but I like Dax's music he makes with Tom McDonald, so that's automatically on a playlist. So it's like what it really comes down to is if I feel the music, then I like to listen to it or react to it. If the music is being done by children, for instance, you get a lot of these prodigies that are making music that nobody gives the attention to because they're just kids. Well, I have kids, and I think that seeing that
I didn't
happen
even get up.
is like one of the coolest things in the world. Watching a prodigy child come up.
Oh yeah.
Um, Sometimes I'll go through like just little short videos, and I'll hear a clip of a song, and I'll look that song up. It never really has to be specific genre. When it
Right.
comes to me, as long as it's not Little Nas X or anybody pushing that bullshit on children, then I ain't got no problem. But if you're pushing harmful messages on kids, another one, NBA YoungBoy, I don't like that dude because he has a horrible message that goes aimed at children. He may not be aiming it directly, but his fan base is primarily kids. I don't think you should be telling kids to get drunk. I don't think you should be promoting kids to go through any of these adult issues that we go through.
Right.
Let children be children. So I won't react to music like that. If there's music out there that's talking about harming people, not Eminem type shit, because we knew Eminem was in his own world and he wasn't talking legitimately harming people. That was his
Right.
story. But if there's people out there like some of these artists that are sitting in jail right now because they wrote a song about somebody that they killed and they used it as evidence, I would never consider listening to that song either.
Right. Well, what got me was the Lil Nas X. Like, I haven't gotten into this really on the channel. My
Tread
kids,
lightly.
my kids right now are all Tom McDonald fans, and when Lil Nas X came out with what was that song? It was really popular. Had Billy Ray
Rock.
Cyrus, Old Town Road.
Yeah, I haven't
My
said rock star.
my
Sorry,
kids
post.
loved it, and now that song wasn't bad. You
No,
know
see,
what
I
I
didn't
mean?
have an issue with that. And look, I don't have an issue with any of his music. His music
Mm-mm.
is his music. That's his decision to make it. When it comes to something like that, I go in a political alignment. I don't give a shit what anybody does unless it's aiming towards kids. That's where I draw the line.
Right.
Now, I could say certain names or certain lines right now on YouTube and get this video age restricted, but somebody who's doing what he was doing with the devil, they didn't care.
Right.
Somebody's got to protect the kids, so that's where I aim with that one.
Well, that's where I was going with that. Like they kind of became fans of him, and then once I heard some of the other stuff he got into, I have tried hard to dissuade them from listening to that kind of music just because one song could be, great and super popular. There's other songs that you really shouldn't, let these kids listen to.
That's to benefit with my kids. My daughter asked me to put a song one day because I let her, whenever I go to the store or something, I'll have her jump in the front and we'll ride up to the store. She's 10 years old, going on 11. But she's like, Dad, I want to hear this song. So she put this song on. And it was talking about specific groups doing specific things that I knew personally were not true. However, they were using these topics in this group as a propaganda factor. And I'm like, hey, listen, you can put whatever you want on the card, but I don't want you to listen to this. And she said, why? I said, because they're lying to you. Let me show you the truth.
Right.
So we sat there and I broke everything down. I broke the reason that the group was formed. And I took her through physical evidence. Like we pulled up different articles. That way she was able to see the articles from the 50s and the 60s and the 40s and when all this went down. And I was like, what they're doing is they're trying to demonize this group because this group teaches you how to do this thing.
Right.
And it's really sad that these artists are doing this. My daughter's 11. She's not allowed to listen to adult music. This was somebody who aims their music at kids.
Yeah, that's crazy. And there's a Tom McDonald. I know you brought his name up, and I've had his music on the channel quite a bit. That's
I'm gonna be honest with when it comes to Tom McDonald. I've not heard him put propaganda out. I've heard him tell his opinion.
yes.
My 5-year-old loves Tom McDonald. Period.
All of my children love Tom McDonald.
No, since the day White Boy came out, literally came out, and I heard it, and I said, Shanna, come listen to this dude sing. Because I had listened to Tom before that, but I was like, come listen to this dude sing. This song is crazy. I'm telling you, it's nuts. And she come walking over, and Willie come over with her. This is years ago. Willie was young. And I played this song, and he starts shaking his little butt and dancing away. And then for, what was it, Shanna? On his second Halloween, he wanted to be the white boy.
Nice.
So, I mean, he got to go as Tom McDonald for Halloween. So, like I said, if they have a message that's not lies, if they're telling the truth, and I don't really like my kids listening to the adult issues, but these issues aren't being brought to them. I'm not the first one to bring these issues to my children.
Right. They're hearing this stuff all day long in school, and just some of when I went through what I went through over the last like 8 months, and I had to actually actively participate in the kids' schoolwork, I started to notice the difference between their schoolwork and our schoolwork.
Yes. Yes. What the hell happened? Look, we've taken too much out of school. I'm not saying religion before anybody comes to that assumption. When I speak about anything, I'm not speaking of religion unless I specifically mention it.
Right.
But, what about some of these classes? What about home ec? What about home ec? It's something as simple as home ec. Hey, these kids need to learn that. What about tax classes? What about economics classes? What about these important classes that we took that are no longer there, but they got Common Core shit that tells your child figure out how 5 + 8 = 17?
Yeah.
I mean, you come to me and tell me, hey, figure out how 5 + 5 = 20. I'm gonna tell you, go figure out how to get back into school, first grade.
And then, well, the thing was, and then you got to draw a picture of it.
Yeah, let's draw all these boxes and make these kids confused, especially the ones that have dyslexia or the kids that have Asperger's and autism, and watch them get confused and then they think it's a big joke.
Yeah, or just throw them on some drugs so Big Pharma makes some money.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll never say that the meds that they put my son on were a bad thing.
Well,
They did guinea pig them, and it pissed me off, and I started flipping shit about it. But the medicine he's on now, he's good.
oh yeah,
He's
well, I
able to
mean,
control.
my kid, all of my kids are ADHD. I was ADHD. I still have ADD. You probably
Hey, wait,
figured
no,
that
no, no.
out.
Stop where you're at. Stop where you're at. No, it was not known as ADD, ADHD, or anything else like that when we were.
For sure.
Go ahead. My bad.
Um, but yeah, no, just like I was like, what in the hell? Because I took accounting, I took economics, I took financial information processing. How do you manage a checkbook?
How do you change a tire? I've seen people parked in parking lots with flat tires trying to call AAA. Like, hey, do you have a spare in your trunk? Well, yeah, but I don't know how to put it on. Well, what the hell is wrong with you? Just ask somebody if you can't put it on.
Right?
Like, you're sitting here looking like you're trying to rob somebody. You got this tinted out car. It doesn't help you none.
Right.
But that's life. I mean,
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I try to. My oldest son, for a while, I was painting apartments for a buddy of mine. And he wanted to come along. He's 16. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's something. I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, you get a good job at, Charmin making toilet paper, but you need to make a couple extra bucks. Yeah, I'm going to teach him how to paint because that's something somebody is always going to need. And they don't teach anything like that anymore. Like, these kids have nothing to fall back on.
well, no, because some of the schools, I don't, you're in New York, right?
Yeah, upstate.
Okay, well, you're like the vagina of the country. So you're screwed. In California, they're the asshole. But we're in between the legs here, but we're not that bad. So we're all right. Like in Ohio, they actually have tech schools. In Pennsylvania, where I grew up, they actually have tech schools, trade schools, things like that you could take as a VOTech class. So you can get out some of these schools, and when you graduate, you also have a certification with you.
Right.
That's something that I'm all for. But the changes that they've made when it comes to like the actual classes, business classes and things like that, that's where I got the big issue with.
Yeah, you can't
That
be.
and the whole three-letter training situation. I don't. You definitely don't want to mention that because that's going to hit the algorithm instantly.
Oh, yeah.
But that three-letter training, I think that's a crock of shit and it's dangerous.
Yeah, it is. It's very dangerous, especially in the certain places that they're pushing it even harder than others. It's
Not only that, how about the fact that my last name, if you look up my last name in my family tree, it was my family tree who have been killed, sacrificed their lives, donated houses to the African American Historic Society in Michigan, donated houses all over the country, donated the statues in West Virginia, a whole bunch of other stuff. Direct descendants of mine who gave up their lives to free these people, just like the same direct descendants was fighting for the Irish. Not the exact same ones, but the ones previous to them, still family members. Why would I be held liable for the other side if it was my family fighting the people to get them free? I don't agree with that bullshit.
No, I agree with that 100%. My whole family's always been from the Northeast. You know where that railroad went through, right?
Which part? I'm
Um,
a Kimball. Think about the
yeah,
main railroad that went from West Virginia.
yep.
Well, Virginia at that point.
Oh, that name's all over up here, all the way
Yeah,
from here to Rochester.
that don't surprise me.
There's a Kimball Museum. That's
That don't
actually
surprise me.
a underground railroad museum.
There's also a Kimball Castle for what are they, the Latter Day Saints or something like that.
Yep.
Somehow I'm supposed to be related to them too, but I don't know. I know I did my family tree and it took me to Rollo the Viking. That was one of the only ones I cared about. William the Conqueror, Rollo the Viking, and all them goddamn tyrants.
Well, I think the guys that are in our chat watching here, I think one of them could probably pass off as one hell of a Viking. What up, Rocky? What up, Tyson?
I got enough blood in me to prove it. I mean, I did take my DNA and it tells you, hey, Scandinavian, large
Right.
portion, a little bit of Jewish, a little bit of Italian, a little bit of Native American, a whole bunch of Scandinavian, and half English.
You know, funny story with those people. So I was adopted, and my wife finally convinced me to do the family tree DNA thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So they sent me the kit, and now I'm a smoker, and I like to drink coffee or whatever. So I followed the instructions to a T. Said wait half an hour, don't drink nothing, don't smoke a cigarette, nothing. So I wait like 45 minutes to an hour just to be on the safe side. Give my sample in the little thing and send it in. It takes me about 8 weeks. I get a letter back that tells me there was no DNA found in my sample. So they send me another box. I'm like, okay. So the first one had to be a screw up. You can't make this up. I
So
have another one in there. I sent
were
another
your
sample in, no DNA. My saliva has nothing, apparently.
tell me this, is your records locked on your adoption?
Yes.
There you go.
So my DNA doesn't exist? That's weird.
No, 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 no. But if it, I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure if something like that would come up in their database, they wouldn't be able to release that information to you. I don't know. I can't speak for them. I'm not sure how that would work, but that's what you would assume.
Right. Well, I wasn't doing the one like to find family or whatever. It was just supposed to give me medical records and like whether I was Scandinavian or German or what the fuck
Medical
ever.
records. Think about that. The main word, medical records. And what does medical fall under? HIPAA.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I don't care who my parents were. They gave me up at birth. I don't give a shit.
Just tell everybody you're an alien.
But if I have like heart issues or whatever in the family, I just wanted to know.
Oh, absolutely. My brother did that one. I don't necessarily talk to him, but I know he did that cryogenics lab one in Pittsburgh. I guess they give you a lot of good information, but they also said that there was a whole bunch of different nationalities in our blood that wasn't in our blood because me and my mother both had ours done, and we come back matching, but my brothers didn't match right. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, it's definitely my brother. I mean, there's no arguing there.
Right.
And we have the same parents. And I mean, I understand that there would be like, okay, hey, you come up with say more, a little more Irish than they did, or you come up with a little more Welsh or something like that. No, 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 no. His was damn near all Oceanic, and he's not Oceanic.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, what's your next question?
What up, buddy? Um.
How you
Hmm.
doing, Nuck?
I think there's been a question I've actually been wanting to ask you for a long time. How did you decide to become a YouTuber?
I didn't. I started streaming on Twitch because I just like playing video games a lot. And then I'd watch a lot of different channels, YouTube channels, Twitch channels, and I'd see all these people, and I'd watch a lot of reaction videos too. But I'd see all these people pushing the same bullshit, and then it's like, wait a minute, no, I physically verify all this information all day when I'm sitting at work between testing. And you're saying this and they're saying that, but you're both full of shit. So then one day I decided, hey, I'm going to start we're going to talk about things outside the box. There was me, my buddy Vox, and a few others. That ended up turning into a whole bunch of podcasts consistently. We had Talk Some Shit. We had Learn to Think, different things like that, where we would talk about topics, pyramids and space and theories and things of that nature. Well, then we got the election. And I started doing the political talk because there was a video. I'm just going to refer to the video as the Very Fine People video. Well, I watched the live stream. I didn't see the clip until after it was clipped, and I was watching a live stream. Like, wait a minute, he didn't say that. I seen the whole goddamn thing. And I started getting pissed. And at that point in time, I had a couple different times I had put up like hurricane videos, and the one had like 300,000 views, and the other one had like 30,000 views. So it was just like the videos of the hurricanes, and I wasn't there. I was just grabbing a whole bunch of weather streams and commentating to it, calling the hurricane a skank and things like that. So it was like, okay, now I'm going to start doing this political talk. So I did the political talk for a while. And then I started getting shadow banned, and I got pissed off. And it was like, all right, they say it, I'm going to do it. You don't like the rules? Build your own. Well, God damn it, I did. And now I could say whatever I want on my own website. Come to YouTube. I kept seeing a lot of good music that was not getting recognized. A lot of good music. And it was like, I want to start doing reactions. I really do. So a couple different times a few years back, I did like a Mises reaction, a Tom McDonald reaction, but I never really got into doing a whole bunch of reactions. Well, it came to the point where it was like, I'm still going to stream, but I gotta get away from the politics. I'm starting to get headaches, get sick and shit from it. I'm just going to get away from the politics. And this is before the last election and all that. And I started just focusing on the reactions. Ended up, we did the election video. I seen it go straight to hell. I was like, yeah, I'm going to stick with the reactions. Took a few months off and started reacting.
Nice.
Now, with my reactions, big difference between me and a lot of other artists. I don't edit. I absolutely can. I have a degree in computer networking and cybersecurity. I do not edit any videos because me personally, I feel it takes away the authenticity of it. I'm not saying other reactors are bad for doing it. Just for me myself.
That's honestly why I don't edit either. If I screw something up, I screw something up. That's just me.
Well, I try to be more interactive with the crowd than most other reactors. Like, I'll stop the video. Like, we have to stop the video whenever you're live. You don't want to get killed midstream and then have an email saying, hey, we killed your stream, and meanwhile you're thinking you're still talking to people. So I'll stop the video like I normally would, but I'll end up having a conversation sometimes about that specific part of the song or about something else that has to do with the music or even the artist. And I like being able to learn and have the interactions that way than to try to be able to deal with just, I'm going to upload this video and hopefully somebody leaves a comment. Well, what are they going to leave a comment if you're not interacting with anybody? I feel that it's just disingenuous if you don't give a little bit of time to people. In my case, I'd rather give all that same amount of time that I'm going to be making that video to those same people at the same time.
Right.
With I created an email on my website. It's requests, so that way people can go to my website and just request whatever they want. Um, I put my personal website email is my YouTube, so people can reach out to me if they need to reach out to me for specific reasons, things of that nature. I try to make it as real as possible with having the distance between everybody.
Right.
I mean, I've had people from all around the world request music. Indonesia is a very large portion of my fan base. Netherlands, another large portion. A lot of those all around the world.
That's awesome. And that's actually some of the advice that I'm taking that I appreciate from Chills.
Oh, no doubt.
Gonna try to switch things up a little bit because that was my thing. Like I sit here in my little studio and I can record, 3, 4 reactions, but then I put it up and if somebody wants to see an actual genuine response or ask a question, what do I think? Because why did you stop it there? You guys don't have that ability. So we're going
Well,
to
not
start.
only that, another thing, another major part that I will call reactors out on if I see it anymore is, oh, I'm going to react to this song for you guys or y'all, however they say it. And then you start watching, hey, they are legitimately, they have the stopping pre-planned to the point they know the words and when the words are going to switch up. How would you do that without hearing that song previously? That's bullshit. That is not an authentic reaction. And I don't, that's something I will absolutely call any other reactor out over. If you've listened to the full song and you're telling everybody, oh, I've never heard it yet, but we're going to listen to it for the first time now. No, 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 no. You got to call people out like that.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times. Now, if I've already heard a song, I've reacted to a couple songs, and I'll tell
Yeah, I
people, hey,
mean,
this is like my favorite song, dude.
exactly. That's a different story. You're telling them, you're being transparent. Hey, this isn't the first time I've heard this. I've stopped songs like I don't know this song, but it kind of sounds familiar. So just to let everybody know, I might end up knowing this song. Like I listen to a lot of Frog Leap Studios. I don't know if you know who he is, but that man can take any song from Tupac to goddamn folk music and make it heavy metal.
Right.
So I listen to a lot of him, and I don't know this song, I don't know this artist, and I'll start hearing it. It's like, oh, let me pause it. Just to let everybody know, I do know this song after all, but I think this sounds better, or I think the original is better. However, that is.
Right. And it makes everything more authentic. Um,
It really does.
I have actually recently stopped watching a couple YouTubers because of just things like that. Just, don't lie to me. I look up to a lot of YouTubers, and if I'm looking up to you, that means a lot of other people are looking up to you. Like my kids
Y-
look up to a lot of YouTubers, and I don't
Here's
want
the thing, though.
them to be
You
fake
gotta
either.
you gotta make sure that you're looking up to them, and you're not looking at them as being beyond you. Because if you look at somebody as being beyond you, you're basically saying that person's better than what you could do. They may have better channel. They may have different skills that you don't have. But everybody's the same. Every goddamn human is the same.
What
And I've seen
difference?
a lot of people go down that track where it's like, hey, I feel that I'll never be able to get to their level. I'm just going to give up now. Well, how do you think they got to that level if they didn't give up?
Right, they were at our level at one point in time. They just put in that work to get to where they're at.
I've seen so many artists go from a couple hundred subscribers to a couple million. It's That's another thing. You'll notice on my channel, I go and sometimes, you know what? I'll be honest. I like to smoke a little bit of bud and go on YouTube and find some songs that I like some, even if it's something like one of those 1960s Freddie Fender or Waylon Jennings or something like that. Find one of these songs that somebody's recreating and it got less than 100 subscribers, less than 1,000 views. Let's check this out and give them a reaction. Let's make their night. It's something I really enjoy doing because I've had people come to me like, you're the first reaction that's ever been done to any of my music, and I appreciate it. It makes me want to continue making music. That line alone makes it worth it.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
couple of the guys in the chat are people like that's why honestly I created my channel was just I didn't want to react to like mainstream artists because they get that push from the record labels or from, you know, whoever they hire to give them that push. I wanted to find the little guys because that's yeah, I listen to Massive Man, Jelly Roll. They're good artists.
Two great
they're
artists.
amazing artists, but they just don't get that push because they're more independent.
You're more into storytellers, not artists.
Yes. Yeah, I love a storyteller.
And the voice that Jelly has, he could tell a story anyway, and it's still gonna come out as an art. I mean, that man is just incredible. But I know a lot of these artists that you listen to.
Yeah, that's
like
my
you were telling me
rabbit
you
hole.
wanted me to do a reaction with you to high res. Like I know every high res song there is damn there. So yeah. I've given you a couple of those, like Jesse Roper and Speedo. Like, yes, Nuck is a witness. He's somebody that comes to my channel all the time, gives me suggestions on smaller artists, and we check them out. We definitely get to check them out. And a lot of the time, they're a lot better than these goddamn artists that want to be artists.
Right.
Like, look, we're going to be an industry plant. They're going to auto tune our music, and we're going to try to sound good. Or I'm going to take this person, and they get a couple hundred viewers or a couple hundred subscribers, and they're like a couple 100,000 times better than this industry plant. I'll pick the smaller guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's usually realer music too.
I mean, I remember when Burden only had a couple thousand subscribers or followers on Facebook. On YouTube, a couple, maybe 1,000, 2,000, something like that. A lot of these artists, I watched them come up.
Oh yeah, that's the way I was with Loza Alexander. Like, that dude just blew up. But I mean, he's got that skill set too.
Here, I got you, Rocky. There's your black flag, and mine says "We the People" in the middle of it. I seen his comment, black flag roster for life. Yeah. I'm Canadian on the West Coast, so I have a different exposure to music than mainstream radio stuff. Absolutely, Nuck. You haven't given me a bad request yet.
I follow quite a few Canadian artists, Rocky and Timinator songs being two of those, along with a whole bunch of other very, very good East Coast of Canada, Ottawa artists. You'll find a lot of those here on my channel. I've become friends with quite a few of them, just great guys.
Canadians seem nicer than Americans.
A lot of
especially
times.
Where you're at. Wait. You're in New York. Anybody's nicer than the Americans there.
Right?
We've seen what you have representing your state. And if you go from the political side of it, holy hell, you guys are in trouble.
I was kind of happy when we were getting rid of one governor. I won't mention names, but the new one isn't much better.
Dumbass for dumbass?
Pretty much. I can't do political videos though because in my view is right straight down the middle. Very similar to one of my other favorite artists, Chris Webby. I just think they all suck.
Webby's a beast. Listen, I react to Webby as consistent as I can, and I'm still getting ready to react to that new song, which I haven't had a chance to. Look, for anybody that sees this stream like, oh, he's still live, As you can see, my camera does not look very good. My computer is right there. Oh, well, I can't necessarily show you, but yeah, my computer is right over here, and
Yeah, she's in pieces.
there's the cooling tubes. It's sprayed everywhere, but it's okay.
Nuck, you are welcome here. I know most of what I do is hip hop, but I will listen to anything. I love music. I don't care what it is. I will
Look, you're
listen
gonna
to it.
start checking out Elite Vita
Oh yeah.
without question.
Yes.
I think he'd
Yes.
probably be one of the because you like guitar. You have a guitar. I've seen it.
Yes, I
I
do.
think when it comes to guitar playing, if you want to see somebody that would be the equivalent of Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or one of the artists up there at that level, the only one that comes off the very top of my head with the skills like that
Right.
would be Elite Vita. I
Yeah,
mean, I've listened to a few other artists that are very close to it. I can't think of her name, but there's a girl and she's very comparable. She plays just like Steve Vai,
oh
but
nice.
Alip's just got a different level of skill.
Yeah, I watched I did the reactor thing and I watched 10 seconds of a video and yeah, no. I'm not listening to another nothing until it's a reaction. I'm
That's your best bet.
not listening to another nothing because that 10 seconds in it was nope.
You got to get yourself a vetter.
Yes.
You need somebody that knows the runabouts with YouTube that you could send a song here and there. Like, look, this song name is a little goofy. I need you to check it out for me because I don't necessarily test it. Because you wouldn't look, I've had people try to request a specific song by the name of Ram Ranch. I'm smart enough not to look at it, stream it, listen to it, or nothing like that. Okay, I've seen the prank videos where they tried to get people to react to that.
Right.
You gotta have somebody vet your videos. Something like that will get you banned.
Right. Well, that's one of the other reasons up until now I hadn't done a whole lot live. We did the podcasts live when we interviewed Spit and Image, and we've done a few just kind of hangout sessions, I guess. Do a few reactions, hang out, talk to people that would come in. Um, but we're definitely gonna do some more live, so maybe I can get one of my guys that has a little bit of time, like Timinator songs, to kind
Yeah,
of
because
go over
you
some of
can't vet
these
them
and
yourself.
right.
What about your wife?
She hates most of my music.
Okay, so she's gonna tell you it sucks, but she's gonna tell you if it's gonna get you banned too or not.
Well, that's true.
Um, and when it comes to podcasting, I don't think I'd be interested in doing another podcast. I was gonna start one and we were gonna start doing it, and I had all them computer problems trying to get that to capture the voice, and I said, screw it. But I sat there and I thought about it, and for me to do podcasting, it would have to be something I really, really enjoyed the topic of. And honestly, the only thing that I could say would be like science, space, shit like that.
Right. Well,
I mean,
ours
I don't
isn't
believe in a
really
flat Earth garbage, but I know I have other theories that are just as crazy. Go ahead.
our podcast was strictly music related, and all it was is like sitting down with an artist, showcasing some of his music, talking to him, how'd you
Oh,
kind of like we are.
is that even really a podcast, or is that more of a showcase?
It's more of a showcase than anything, yeah.
Yeah, like a true interview. But
Right, where
like for
people
me, it
can hear
was
the music, plus we're talking to the artist, everything's live, they can ask questions.
okay. Here, I'll just give you an instance of one of the topics that I still pay attention and look into more and more every day. That's probably that we've been looking at for 5 years at least. I don't believe that the moon's originally where the moon's always been there. I don't believe that it's been there more than 40,000 years. But that's my personal opinion.
Right.
I believe that's why our carbon dating's off. Here, I'll tell you the theory. I believe that at one point in time there was a planet that smacked into Mars, which more and more evidence is proving, along with the Kepler belt. So that would be what produced the moon. When the moon got into the radius of the Earth into the orbit, we know for a fact without the moon the days would only be 4 hours a day. Once the moon's there, it becomes 24 hours. It slows it down. It gets the wobble straightened out. Things of that nature would make
Right.
sense, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so if the moon came here 40,000 years ago, that would explain why all the different religions are so far off with timing.
Right.
Okay, and I'm not pointing to any specific religion, but they're all off on timing. But if you go off of that, you're looking 4 hour days. It's a
Right.
lot less than 24. And then you got to consider the fact is that when Pangea actually split up. Let me point that out. When something split the continents, there's pyramids on all the different continents. If you look at where the pyramids would be located in Pangea, it's a center mass.
Right.
If something caused the tectonic plates to just randomly split, such as the moon being put in place and slowing down the spin of the Earth, which would cause the tectonic plates to shift around drastically, it would
Right.
explain everything. But no, we're supposed to believe that it's been there for billions of years.
Hmm.
I mean, think of the carbon dating itself. They always say, oh, we're off by this amount or that amount. But think about it. If it's 4 hours going to 24 hours, you have another 5 days fitting
Right.
before. So that's 5 days for every 24 hours.
Yeah, that's definitely going to cause some
And
malfunctions.
yeah, that could also be like the answer to the Great Flood that we had. That could also be what Göbekli Tepe talked about, which is a 13,000-year-old observatory that we know for a fact it's there.
Right.
I just believe the humans were smarter at one point in time. I'm not going to be one of those jokers that claim it's all aliens because I really don't believe it. I believe that the humans were a hell of a lot smarter. Some kind of cataclysm happened. That's where what happened to Mu. That's what happened to Atlantis. It was probably all at the same time,
Right.
and that's why we have amnesia and forget about our past and our history.
Yeah, that amnesia seems to be a pandemic.
Let's not use that word. God damn it! All the different things we said on here be fine. You say that word, you're getting us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just got a warning over that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They don't just avoid the word because then you'll start talking about it. If you start talking about it, you're going to get aggravated and something might slip, and then boom, there goes the channel again.
Right. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. The one biggest thing that I've learned in the last 2 years is patience.
Throw
I
them
would
out the window. Those are unneeded necessity.
I would stress over crap so bad when I was younger, and I'd get stressed out, and like now it's like if it doesn't affect me right now, I don't care.
There's a game you could play with your people that watch your stream if you're doing more streams like this. It's called Marbles. Pretty sure they got it for YouTube now. They had it on Twitch only, but pretty sure. If you use that game, it'll allow you everybody in your chat to put a marble on the board and race them while we're all talking.
Oh, that would be
Uh,
cool.
yeah, I'll have to show it to you later. Oh, by the way, Elite Bata's song react to goes on a dozen or so South Asian reaction mixed with a lot of other goddamn wire Elite Bata reactions. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've had many of them actually mention me so that way I knew that they were doing it. And I go, if I see that knuck, I go over and I give them a thumbs up or tell them awesome or something like that, so they know, hey, I'm not mad. I appreciate them doing that because that expands it for me.
Yeah, that's always awesome when you. Well,
That's why I think it would be best just with a leap if I was to do if I come on your channel when you do your first Elite Baton reaction. That way people see a familiar face such as mine and they know I'm introducing you to it.
right.
So
Well, that's kind of the way that's going anyway, because you keep talking about them, so.
yeah.
That's how it's going to
Oh,
have to be.
there's some artists that I just think are underrated and underappreciated and shouldn't be.
Right. Well,
But hey,
unfortunately, due to time constraints, we're going to have to wrap this up, buddy.
I know this. I heard because I heard your wife tell you you better get out that in that middle of the road in the banana hammock. I heard what she was saying. She was going to take the egg turner to you if you didn't get it done soon.
Right? But
But yeah,
anyway,
well, I appreciated the interview, and
hey,
I'll still be sitting here bullshitting.
it has been tons of fun. I appreciate you coming on the channel. I appreciate you helping with the channel. And Jedi Nation, you will be seeing a whole lot more of ChilzTheSavage. His link is in the description for this video, so go check out his channel. He has some crazy, crazy, amazing artists that he reacts to. Go check him
Oh, and if
out.
you go too far back, it's your own damn fault. I had to put a whole bunch of videos on private because it was talking politics, and it's like, wait a minute, this will get me banned. But I don't know if I got them all. So I think I have like 1,400 videos up.
Nice. But all right, guys, it has been amazing, and we will see you guys tomorrow.